So the other thing, that near the shaft there is a closet that Elizabeth told me today, like not this whole time, that there was a closet, a utility closet, that has a really strong smell of mildew and mold. And it has also, there's an old piano in there. And just so happens that this whole energy field and where the closet is, the baby dragon crystal happens to be between the two, the closet and the shaft. Okay, so that's that part. So to me, it was definitely an evolution of it coming out that this is real. There isn't a, and no matter how much that she went into the whole spiel about how they had been trying to get that thing fixed. But then Elizabeth said, this is so interesting. She said, I actually don't want that elevator fixed. And I was like, hold on. Like, why don't you want this fixed? And she said, because when it runs, so again, this is the past, but she's speaking in terms of the present. When it runs, the utility guy is coming in and out, being irreverent to the fact that they are having the arrhythmy classes, and he's using that elevator to come in and go into that utility closet. So what we were talking about was letting go of that resistance, and that everything is falling into place, that we want the elevator shaft to be working. We want everything to be working in its highest order, so that you guys can move into the new school. Like, you know, so that was a really interesting happening. The amazing thing is, after we had that conversation, I got a message that said, hold on, sorry, okay, hold on. Good news, the fire alarm system is now working. So after we cleared that resistance, it was just amazing. The fire alarm system is now working, one more step toward everything in working order. That was Elizabeth McKay. And then she said, and the smoke alarm system is connected to the elevator, so the elevator should be fixed soon too. Amazing, right? I mean, I just love how this happens on the last day we're coming together, right? It's just like so totally cool. All right. So breathe with that one. So that's one thing. Then this morning that we were meeting, we were supposed to get on at, I don't know, 8:30 or something, and we couldn't get a hold of Elizabeth. And so I was talking to Rita about this closing, and then Elizabeth gets on and she says, the reason I couldn't get on with you was because we were interviewing the last position for the first and second, I'm getting goosebumps every time I say this, it's like, for the last position in the school for the first and second grade, and they came together and they all liked her, and she has a green flag to be, if she accepts it, because she has to accept it, to be the new teacher. That happened this morning too, like, right? Also, she told me that when they meet to decide a teacher, they always call in the angel of the class and the angel of the school. And what she said was that every single person described a shift in the energy. That they didn't know what it was, but they said something is different here. And that their images and qualities of being able to tune into these angels were so much clearer, more clarity. There was a sense of pulsating movement, more vitality in the school energy. So I just wanted to let you know about that happening. And they think that it's because of all the work that we've been doing. That's number 2. Number 3. And Elizabeth said, okay, so then we all know, if you've been watching the WhatsApp, that the tree that After we met last week, they received a message that the tree was going to be cut down. They were going to take the tree down, and so they took the tree down, and and which oh yeah, and the church was it being very agreeable with them, which we haven't really heard or felt, and that I'm not sure exactly where. I have to get her to show me where she put it, but she put up a bagua facing the highway to send back, a bagua if it's placed in the right place, it sends back the energy. It stops the energy from attacking the school. So that is now up as of just a day or two ago. And Elizabeth is going to she's been really feels strong about putting some wind chimes at the front of the school to call in that energy now. And I think also a bird feeder. And the other thing that the church did was apparently in a classroom, one of the classrooms had a lot of growth around it, which they kind of liked. It was, I don't know which grade it was, but it kept, it was like having the nature in the classroom. They felt, the church took that, it was, it was entangled. So they took it down, which opened up a lot of light and energy. And they're now talking about creating a community little garden, a flower garden there, to have the kids put in a flower garden to kind of get the plants to grow up taller around the window. And yeah, to create a clean bed so that they feel the nature. Yeah. And I think that's all in my notes. Okay. There you go. So that was a lot, but I think it's really a confirmation of everything that we've been doing in such a beautiful way. And I think that is it, except I'm working with Rita on how to do the closing. So from that place, how about we each just take a minute and share anything that's moving for us, anything that you might have done with your dyad partner, your wayfinding partner, if you did meet with them. No bad vibes if you didn't. This is, we're in lots going on between the 8/8 gate and the full moon and all kinds of stuff. Now we're in the Perseid meteor energy. So anyway, just pass it along. So I'll just pass it to Jamie, and then when you're done, Jamie, just pass it to someone and we'll just move through.
Well, I missed you guys last week. I'm sorry I couldn't get on. I was down in St. John, and I was with you all in spirit, though, and I was doing dowsing work down there and thinking of all of you and continuing to collaborate with Nalasa, which has been just such a blessing to me. So I just want to say thank you because to Shelley for continuing to invite me into this beautiful group of people. I've learned so much and have enjoyed talking with everybody so much. And I still have some of you that I'm planning to catch up with after today, Tyson and Joanne. And I still would like to touch base with everybody that I haven't had an opportunity to talk to. So just putting that out there to all of you. And I just got my first my copy of Navigating Home today. So I'm very excited. And anyway, that's all I have. Happy to be here.
Just pass it on to, well, since she said Nalasa, why don't you go next? Make it easy.
Hello, everyone. Um, yeah, I connected with a bunch of people this week. Oh, well, I connected with Joanne, which was with Catherine, which was super nice to catch up with her over the weekend. And then I also connected with Judy briefly right before this to say hello briefly. And it's been such thank you, Shelley, for inviting Jamie. It's been really great collaborating with her and different things that we have going on, which feels really good. Um, my my uncle actually passed away this past week, which I wasn't very close to, but my mom was really close to, and so I'm feeling her going through things from that. And I've been getting over being sick. So the last week I've been I think I maybe had COVID. I don't know, but still mix of feeling tired, but still having my mind more back now. And yeah, this whole I can't believe the 12 weeks have gone by so quickly. Um, and I feel like we've done a lot. And yeah, I'm excited for more in whatever way that looks. And yeah, thank you all for the space and time together. And I will pass it to Joanne.
So, yes, I enjoyed a conversation with Nalasa. I think it was this last week, or maybe it was the week before. The days. I had a wonderful conversation with Najma this morning in her last night, and really wonderful to connect around our roots in body work and so forth. And I've yet will be connecting with Jamie, but wonderful to connect with everyone. But as far as the information you just shared, Shelley, I'm really flabbergasted about the elevator thing, because tuning in and checking negative vortex, and it was so weird because it was on that basement floor, but also on the second floor. The numbers or the resonance of negative vortex, but not in the middle floor. And it wanted to count as two negative vortexes, but they go, what is down below emits upward. So it was really puzzling to me whether I was getting it right. And then to find out there's this elevator situation. So that was really curious to me to find out. So that's amazing what has unfolded. The other part in my checking in yesterday with the energies, I got such a strong sense of a restricted breath in the school. Just like, oh, just wanted to make a full breath. It was restricted. And so I sat with that and kind of looked into what that might mean. And then I realized my sense is that once they do the final field clearing to the four corners of the space, that I feel like that's when that big, full, relaxing breath will come, because we've done so much amazing work and so many different kinds of pieces that are obviously highly effective. But something about just that last calming, grounded breath that comes when there's the space clearing at the end. It's just my take on things. Wanted to share that. So let's see. I'm going to pass this over to my right to Catherine.
Sorry, before you begin, Catherine, Shell, can you turn your sound back off? Because you just have a lot of white noise
Oh,
because of that.
sorry. No, you're right. Sorry, apologies. I just needed you to.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Good. Yeah, I was noticing the same thing, so thank you. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, Nalasa and I had a wonderful talk this week. I haven't connected with anybody else this week, but it's great to connect in with her and uh, yeah, some interesting shared experiences with up in when I lived up in Crestone and uh, amazing dowsing sort of earth healing man that we both worked with up there and just fun stuff. So we didn't we nothing really came up about the school though, so everything felt pretty complete, although I have to say I had not gone back in and done that checking. So I'm glad that that was done. And, yeah, because that's one thing that we haven't spent a lot of time doing, I notice, for quite a while is just checking in on all the lines and the negative vortexes and all of that. So that feels like that's an important piece. And yeah, so it has been a real pleasure to be a part of this whole process. Really enjoyed sharing some of the new resonance alchemy stuff and the and learning so many other great approaches here with everyone. So yeah, and just that's feeling complete with everything. Yeah. Mm.
We got to pass it to somebody.
Yeah, sorry, forgot. I will pass it to Shanti Hart.
Okay, hopefully you can hear me now. Okay, good. Well, I think that's interesting what you guys found out this week, and kind of gobsmacked that we literally never heard about these things until this week. Um, it kind of makes me think that, in the future, when we get these diagrams from people, we maybe need to have them taking more pictures or something like of every doorway, because I mean then we would have noticed there was an elevator door and oh, what's that little room? Oh, that's the, so um it's hard though to get there's so much that you need to start and get it going. And it seems like one thing that I remembered from the very beginning was that the room where they do the dancing, which was also a classroom, people were getting sick, children and teachers, and a lot of people thought it was mold. And there was never any follow-up necessarily on that. And I just was measuring it after you started talking, and there's still mold. The mold hasn't been addressed or dealt with at all. And if they're still going to be putting little children down there, they're probably still going to be getting sick. And so that's one thing that I wish had been addressed maybe more thoroughly or intently. But I know they're so distracted of all the other things and getting teachers and all that. So it's a lot. And it sounds like maybe the church is starting to realize, be reminded of how much they need the school in there, because yeah, then what happens to their loan if they leave? So I think they'll work that all out. I've enjoyed everything we've done. I enjoyed all the things that I've learned from everyone this time. I liked the more new things that Catherine taught us, and Marty, I always learn more from you, and loved working. I know I haven't visited with everyone, but that's just how it worked out. So anyway, I don't really have anything else to add. I'll pass it to Judy.
Hi. I can't believe we're in week 12. I'm sad because I love meeting with you guys, but I'm sure we will meet again. So I'm excited about that. As far as the school, so when I checked in on it being a negative vortex, was like, it wasn't just that. It is like there's layers or something. And then I checked on this banker grid, And for some reason that's coming up, and it talked about, it being a global electromagnetic grid. So that would also affect the elevator and the alarm system, all that kind of stuff. And then it talked about, there's where these grid lines intersect are thought to be more intense and sometimes problematic. Of course, people spend long time. It's negative zones have a detrimental effect on well-being. I don't know. So it just for me didn't come up as straight just negative vortex. So maybe it's a negative vortex, which is also hitting on the banker grid, or no, maybe we can check into that together, because there's something, it just feels, it spreads, and it feels electric. I have a couple people I still haven't met with, and I hope that everyone's open to just between now and when we meet again, just keep it going and connecting up with each other. I've really enjoyed learning everything from everybody. Everybody has taught us something. I just love the insights that come in, and we can talk hopefully more after the break about where we can go from here. But I'm just in great appreciation of you all. And Shelley, thank you so much for bringing us together yet again with this beautiful, beautiful opportunity, and that I think is so essential right now on Earth. So love you all.
Who do you want to pass to? Well, I think it's Tyson, Najma, and Marty. We can't hear you. You're on mute.
Marty's right below me on the screen, so I'll pass this beautiful crystal. There you go. Right.
Yeah, it has been a very interesting session with working with a group, because it's not something that I typically do, and certainly looking at the different schools, all the different perspectives on the energy work that can be done and was done, and it's very satisfying to get those reports at the end that yes, we did get we do have some success and some home runs. So that feels really good as well. I know I haven't reached out and got in touch with everybody in this group, and I certainly apologize for not doing so. And hopefully I'll have a few less distractions in the coming months than I did in the last 3. Knock on wood, but we'll just have to see on that one. But one of the things that also is really interesting, if you've been paying attention, is that the energy landscape that we're all in has changed significantly in the last 3 months. And just a lot of really interesting and neat things are happening energetically, which is also fun. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Najma.
Thanks, Marty. Wow. Yeah, 3 months has gone really quickly, and that was a fantastic list of achievements, if we can call it that, Shelley, that you gave us about the school, all the different aspects. That was really great to listen and take ownership of some of those shifts that have happened at the schools. Yeah, good job. And I've loved our I think one of the gifts of this consortium has been the one-on-one calls in between. It really allows for a deeper connection to be made between us. And then when we come together as a group, it really strengthens the work and the cohesiveness of the whole group because of that sense of knowing that we have with each other, and trust and love and care. So, yes, the energetic landscapes change. I didn't quite writing anymore, Marty, because you threw me into the ring. But I think it's also changes within us as well. So as you know, within, so without. Had a lovely call with Joanne last night, and I didn't realize we were very similar, both in age and in skill sets. So that was fun to learn, and it really took Joanne to hunt me out to do that. So thanks for levering me out of my little cushy spot here in the far north. Many things going on for me at the moment. There's a building project, there's family things, there's dealing with the cold, chopping wood, carrying water, all those things. But I find the consortium is an absolute anchor for me in my life. It's almost not just an anchor, it's also a direction finder. I can actually come back to this place of support and care and love and orient. And I just find that a really grounding and it's a gift. It's a gift. And thank you all for giving me this gift in my life. Thank you, especially Shelley, for holding space for all of us to play in this arena. It's very generous. I shall pass to Tyson.
Thank you, Nash. Yeah, I don't know where the 3 months has gone. Certainly whipped by. Lots happening in my life as well. It's been a pleasure meeting those that I have, and I look forward to talking to those that I haven't, if we can fit that in. Love to spend some time with you, Marty, and pick some brains. And you're doing lots of similar exciting things. Lots got to learn from so much and so many people. I'm excited about the fact that I think we really launched the school in another trajectory into what could be a very successful, exciting year for them. I'd really like to know how that progresses so that we have ongoing reports from the school and check-ins. I think, yeah, I'm really excited that we did a lot. Not that we've totally finished, but it's an ongoing project. But it looks like we brought a whole new exciting year to a bunch of students, which is really what this is all about, right? So, yeah, thank you ever so much, all of you. And thank you, Shelley, for bringing us together.
Thank you. Oh, let's just take this is so yummy. I just want a couple of things. One is one of the things that I trust in this process, and it is about trust. It isn't about, oh, yes, we just found out like that they didn't tell us things. I mean, that we know that happened with Amani as well. Big projects, right? Things. But what I've discovered and what I really feel about this is that things come in layers. And certain layers have to be taken care of so that other layers can show up. We weren't meant to find out about this elevator shaft until today, for whatever reasons, we don't know. I mean, maybe there was like Judy's describing, she feels like it's more than a negative vortex. It's just like, and actually when we take a break, we are coming back and we're all going to work. Actually, I was going to work with Joanne alone. And then I went, oh, no, what am I thinking? We're going to all work together on this negative vortex and whatever that is at Judy, and we're going to remotely do something with it tonight. And I have a particular idea about that and see if we can clear that and see if that can shift. Yeah, so layers, things come in layers. And also, thank you, Shantikar, for bringing up that, or I had forgotten about how the kids were getting sick down there. And so, yeah, so we will do a little bit of remediation around that. What else do I want to say? So I'm just feeling really happy because I know that this experience is an elevation of, body, mind, spirit, and soul for individual, and it's through our collective weaving that exponentially starts to shift. And each one of you have described that in your own way, just what we've seen with Jamie and Jamie's work and meeting, Nalasa and, and in the past, Najma and I mean, everyone has had these experiences, and this is just to help us wake up even further in the possibility of what can be done. And I think what Marty was saying, like it is incredibly satisfying because it is for I mean, we're doing this for the children and the teachers. And even today, when Elizabeth said that, she caught herself. She went, "Oh," I'm like, "Do you hear yourself?" And that she can have a different. And when I checked, by the way, very specifically to find out if there was any resistance in the field left over from Elizabeth, I didn't find any that was affecting the work that we were doing. And she actually made a comment this morning, and I'll be pulling these together more when I have a chance. Is that she said that she has continued to work. We did that private session, remember? And she said, "Shelley, I just want you to know that I've been continually working on that, and I feel such an improvement in myself, And I think, and I think it's very similar with Kalima. There was a real importance in the people that are running, these schools, or we've also found it in the tiny house community. The person who is the initiator or the facilitator or the owner of that land, they are influencing to a high degree what can happen in that field. So by getting to those people, we're really making the change that drips down to the rest. And I think that's just something for all of us to remember, that we're doing these projects, but we're also, I think it's kind of that whole mentorship, like that we're mentoring the mentors that need mentoring, that don't even know that they needed the mentoring, right? With the magic and the skills and the wisdom and the love that we're bringing forth. So I think it's really quite remarkable.